In Tunisia, Mohamed Bouazizi, a 26-year-old fruit and vegetable street vendor, set himself on fire on December 17, 2010. He was protesting against corrupt local police and authorities. He died on January 4th. Protests spread following his death, both across the country and the internet. Protesters uploaded videos of unrest, whilst the authorities allegedly fought back with censorship and hacking. But by January the 14th, ex-Tunisian President Ben Ali's 23 years in power were over.
Social media played a role, but not a determinative role. The dominant medium is still television. And part of that is due to the fact that social media are not as pervasive in that part of the world as they are in the more developed nations. You look at Facebook, for example, which is used by only about 5% of the population. Internet penetration throughout the region is about 20%. So that's important, but it's television, on the other hand, reaches upwards of 80% of the population, particularly in the big cities. And so the dominant medium was television, sometimes repurposing material that it found on the social media sites.
In Egypt, a Facebook page called for a day of protest on the 25th of January 2011 over the death of a 28-year-old man named Khaled Said. Police officers had dragged him from an internet cafe and beaten him to death. More than 80,000 people signed up for the protests on the Facebook page. The protests continued in Egypt despite the mobile phone and internet network being down for several days. On February the 11th, ex-Egyptian President Hosni Mubarak's 30 years in power were over. The original Facebook page, called "We Are All Khaled Said," has nearly 1 million likes.
Social media is much broader than sending 144 characters over Twitter or updating your status posts on Facebook. Those are useful, but if you look at how people are sharing videos, how they are sharing information in Egypt, in Tunisia, in Libya, it's primarily through SMS. It's not primarily through Twitter. We observe Twitter, so we give Twitter a lot of credit, but there's a lot more communication going underneath that obvious. The number one enemy, it seems nowadays, in every state in North Africa is Al Jazeera. Whether you're Israel, Jordan, Egypt, Tunisia, they all blame Al Jazeera for everything that has gone wrong. And Al Jazeera has taken a very aggressive stance, one might say, in broadcasting events, whereas 5-10 years ago, that would have not been possible. So we see a broader dissemination of information. When Al Jazeera's signal is jammed or cut off and there's only state TV, we see people picking up the slack through mobile phones, through telephony, through voice over internet protocol, etc.
You have cases, for example, in Cairo, where there were people who came out into the streets in poor neighborhoods where they didn't even have television. But the ambiance of the city changed. It became a revolutionary city. People were shouting into entryways of apartment houses, "Come join us." It wasn't any fancy technology that was in use there.